Why is the education system a scam? You can choose to get as deep with it as you want, and as
I don't even know, like, honestly, like, I have to be so careful what I say because I don't know what the word scam actually means.
Okay, let's not call it a scam. Actually, and I don't even agree that it is a scam because some people profit off of it, some people lose off of it. A scam means that you're blatantly stealing from people, and I think that happens, but I don't think it's 100% that. So let's just talk about why can the education system be a bad option?
Yeah, so I think a good way to express it is that the school is a matrix, and most people don't know what the word matrix means, but I believe from when I last searched it up, it means like a world within a world. And that means that you perceive reality in different ways. So most people don't perceive school the right way. Like, they don't see school for what it really is. They don't know what school is actually built for. And it's built to breed workers and soldiers. And most people don't know that because they perceive it to be something else. So what was your question again?
So I'm going to kind of jump in and help explain this as well. So I don't want to say school's completely good or completely bad, but you have to understand, school is made by the government. And the government's goal is to have workers because workers create a strong nation. But everyone can't be the CEO. Everyone can't be the entrepreneur who makes a bunch of money. Everyone can't be, what did you call them? You call them followers versus rulers?
Oh, yeah, there's the working class and the ruling class.
The working class and the ruling class. Great nations have strong working classes. So the school system, which was created by the government, knows this. So their goal, and you can jump in when you want, is that the goal of the school system is that they want you to become a worker. They want you to fill jobs. And that the easiest way to be a worker is to be someone who takes orders well, who accepts what they're told, basically to be a follower, and in a form that is indoctrination. Now, indoctrination has a really bad connotation with it, but technically everything you consume is indoctrination. If I really like someone who makes workout videos, I want to be indoctrinated by them because they're going to teach me how to be a better version of myself working out. So I guess elaborate on elaborate on how school is indoctrination for being a worker and not a leader, ruler.
Yeah, so the first thing you want to understand is that school is free. Whenever something is free, you're the product.
Well, wait, not all school is free, though.
Yeah, I'm talking about public education.
It's a
private.
But college isn't free.
Private's different.
And college is public.
So, yeah, you can't rule college the same way.
Okay,
it's
so
different.
Start at high school.
So, as far as, like, public education, yeah. Whenever it's free, like, you are the product. So, like, I'm trying to give a good example. Like, what are some free things? Like, whenever they, like, give you, like, free samples at Costco.
Yeah.
It's basically, like, a sales technique to get you to actually buy the food. Or, like...
Because you are the product. Because if I associate Costco with being a place that always gives me free food, well, then I want to go there more. And then by me going there more, I end up buying more of their stuff. So I am technically the product.
Yeah.
Is that a good way to explain it? No.
Yeah, it's a pretty good way. Like, they're just gonna want something out of you.
Yeah.
Every single time you get something for free. And when you think of the school system, it's like, wait, what are they getting out of me? Like, no one is even aware. And then you realize that they're, like, taking your whole life out of you. And, like, no one's aware of it. It's wild. Like, they're ripping all freedom from you.
See, that sounds dark, so elaborate.
People don't know what freedom is.
Why? Why are you... Because I'm sure someone's sitting there listening, being like, "How am I not free?"
Well, that's a wild question. I don't know how to explain that. I don't know how to explain it in words, but
Yeah.
a lot of people have been deceived to believe what freedom looks like. So here's a good way to explain it. Like, people in North Korea are not aware of the outside world. Like, they just don't know anything different. So they think their life is normal. Like, they might think they're free unless they know something different.
Yeah.
Or like, for example, like back in the day, like slave masters didn't teach their slaves how to read so that they didn't understand like the amount of slavery that they were in. Like, they didn't want them knowing the outside world of what freedom really looked like. Like, they wanted them thinking that their life was normal. And it works the same way with school. Like, people aren't aware of what they're getting themselves into. And they think that working a 9-to-5 job and all this stuff is freedom, when in reality, it may not be. And for me, it's not. It's subjective for everyone, but
Freedom is the ability to do what you want within like the law, and there's a ton of people who don't want to be in school, nor they don't want to be in school, but they have to. That's how it works. You can jump through a ton of hoops to be homeschooled, but you legally have to go to school. So even just at that baseline, you're technically not free in the sense.
that's the craziest part. Like, you're forced to go. Yeah.
Even at that baseline, you're not free. But then school, again, when anything's free, which is provided by the government pays for it, then you are the product. What are they gaining out of you? Well, they understand, like we said earlier, that a strong nation is built on the working class. So what they're gaining out of you is that they're preparing you to fill in jobs. Now, I can't say that this is the worst thing in the world, because
Yeah.
some people need to work jobs, and like for many, many years, America has been a strong nation. So I can't say it's the worst thing in the world, but I think what's important to identify is you either become a worker or a ruler. And the reason that a majority of people are workers is because the school system sets you up to be that way. Now, if you're completely aware of this, does it feel like free? It doesn't feel like freedom, because I'm watching all my friends who they're not, I know what their dreams are, I know what their aspirations are, and they really don't give it the time it deserves because they don't think it's a possibility. And if the school has convinced you that what you want to do isn't a possibility, then congratulations, you're not free.
Yeah. So, like, since the second you go to school, they say, like, what's your dream job? Bro, you don't have to have a job. Like, you straight up don't have to have a job. Like, it's not, like, you're alive. Like, you're a human being. Like, you're on the freaking earth. You can do whatever you want. Do you think they had jobs back then? Like,
I guess that's a hard word, but I think you should think in this context of what you're saying, you should think of a job as being as work that you don't want to do in means to live. Because I don't really, this is my job, and right now I don't make any money from it, but I have full belief that this will be how I make money, and I know that I'll carve out a path. And if this is what I do, I'm already loving doing it, not making money. So when I do make money, I'm going to love it doing it even more. And so, but because I have this free thinking mentality, and I did drop out of school, and that did like help me to think freely, I believe in this. Whereas like school conditions you to, it's like a funnel. And it just, you get a little bit of variety. You can be like, oh, I want to be business, I want to be this. But again, most people don't even do what their degrees.
Yeah. Well, the right word is program. School
Yeah.
programs you. So I was like, okay, what is a program? It is, in today's society, it's usually like a course or like videos that you watch that
Yeah.
will teach you something. And that's what school is, except you're just there in person. But it's the same exact thing as a video. It's them with a chalkboard, whatever, teaching you. They're programming your mind. So you have to determine who's programming my mind. Do I want them to program my mind? Do I want to be who they are, where they are? Most people don't think about that at all. But also with that said, if you're aware of all this and you still decide to work a 9-to-5 job, then that's perfectly fine. The important part is to be aware of it.
See, yeah, I think that's something I want to clarify, is that I don't want to demonize the school system in the sense that, dude, I know tons of people who work 9-to-5 jobs who are happy. My dad works a great 9-to-5 job. He funds a lot of my amazing life. As a kid, I got to live a great life because of that. But if I were to take a kid and say, hey, watch 8 hours a day, watch videos on being a chef, you're going to be a chef one day. I can even give you a real world example. Who's had an immigrant friend where their immigrant parents basically say they have to be a lawyer or a doctor?
Oh, yeah.
And then one day they get to it and they're telling all their friends, like, I don't want to be a lawyer or doctor, but this is my parents sacrificed everything. They gave up their life. They moved here. They got me into this school. Like, I have to be a doctor. Well, like, people are starting to identify that's wrong and it's an unenjoyable life, like being forced into something they don't want. Now, school gives you a little bit of freedom in your choice, but it's basically saying, if I were to sit down a kid and make them watch 8 hours of videos of being a chef, and from the day they were 5 until they were 21, and that kid became a chef and he had no option, and someone made a documentary about me, they would be like, you're evil, bro. You took away that kid's free will. And school is essentially doing the same thing. It's not as bad because you have a little bit of room to wiggle, but it's just training you to fall in line. And, and again, I don't want to get too like conspiracy about it, but it's like, well, what is, people always talk about, it's like the classic joke, what you learned in class, especially in high school, like literally tell me one thing you learned in high school. And I'm not talking about, you learn a lot in high school socially when you make friends and you learn from your friends and you learn from watching the people around you, but like things they actually teach you, Pythagorean theorem, like other than using it in college, do you use it ever in the real world? Do you learn about rocks? Do you use it ever in the real world? That was kind of something you opened my eyes to.
Yeah. I don't know a single rich person that's rich because of school. I'm not even going to explain it.
Yeah, but you said to me, public education makes a living, self-education makes a fortune.
Yeah.
And again, I don't even like to say these things because it makes it sound like we're glorifying money.
Yeah. It's like you still be, it's just like to give an image.
Because, but that's the other thing is that almost, in a way, the school system teaches you to glorify money because it's like, if you get better grades, you will get a better degree.
Oh, absolutely.
And if you get a better degree, you will make more money.
That's the most important part. The school system idolizes money more than anything. Yeah. And they think the entrepreneurs are idolizing money, but the people they have their eyes on the money so much that they're afraid to take a risk and lose the money.
Yeah.
So they're like, I have to go to school. I have to make sure I do this because they're so obsessed with the money. They need it.
Every step, because even when you're in high school, dude, what do good grades lead you? They lead you to getting into a better school. What did better school lead you to? Into getting a better degree. What does a better degree hypothetically mean? Hypothetically, it means that you get a job that pays more, even though that's generally not how it works anymore. And again, I think you can make way more as an entrepreneur, but that's not the point because I'm telling you right now, I make nothing off this podcast and I'm happier than tons of people I know. So who's really winning? That's why, like, freedom, I don't know. There's just so many layers to this, but hopefully something valuable was learned.